ladies and gentlemen, our next contest will be fought in the 971 under 82 kilogram category. Please welcome our first fighter making his way to the blue corner from Kurdistan, Namo, Fazil.
Namo, Fazil has had a bitter taste in his mouth all week. He said in the press conference that he'd taken offence at something his opponent tonight has said on social media and made sure that everybody knew about it. I heard it actually kicked off just 2 days ago in the hotel. This is not for show. No. He is genuinely has something against his opponent, and when you have someone who's taking a fight so personally, Evan, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It depends how he managed it, because this is something we talked about when we saw him at the press conference. We're like, okay, is this a bit of bravado? Is it a bit of show? Is this going to, boil over? And is it going to, is he going to manage his emotions well enough going into the cage? Because, as you said, all week he looks like he's wanted to fight. And, that can burn you out in the lead up to the fight. He needs to be just dialing himself in and focusing on the night and showing up here. But, that press conference was wild. And I really thought there was going to be a fight there and then. And, he said something interesting to Sulimanov at it. He said, you think that you're Chimaev, you think you're Khabib, you can't bring those guys in there with you. And he said Kurdistan fighters are a different breed. So I'm really excited to see what he's going to do and how he's going to back up those words. He's traveled the world training. You can see that time spent in Thailand. And we talk about his power. He is powerful. And also he's confident. He's on a five-fight win streak. And we talk about the confidence that gives for a fighter, Carl. Is there truth to that? When you build up a back-to-back wins, you're coming riding away?
Absolutely. You're in full self-belief mode, and he believes in the power of those hands. Some guys need to put on that bravado. They need to hate their opponent. I think he generally hates his opponent. I don't think he's doing this to build himself up. To me, it seems very, very genuine. But to Evan's point, sometimes that can boil over, but I've seen Fazil in the past. He likes to fight angry. Yeah, he looks like he's been emotionally redlining all week, so let's hope he hasn't burned himself out too early.
Do you think that's part of how I say this? His method, that he has to find anger?
There are some people, but I honestly just think he's angry.
I think it's, I
really do. I don't think he's got to try. I don't think he's trying to put that on. I think he feeds off it. I think he enjoys it. I don't know him at all personally, but he just seems like a man who's built for war.
Yeah, cartwheels, he looks pretty relaxed anyway.
Namo Fazil enters the 971 cage.
And please welcome our second fighter making his way to the red corner, representing Russia, Yakub Sulimanov.
The undefeated, and Evan, as you mentioned, training partner of UFC middleweight contender Khamzat Chimaev, didn't seem flustered at all by his opponent's bravado. And when you're training with guys like Khamzat, I think it would take a lot to spook you. Most of his fights have been in Russia on promotions like ACA, but he was due to fight here in Dubai on PFL's January card. That fight fell through, so it's good to see him spreading his wings, facing new challenges tonight. 7-0 on his record. Is now, Carl, the right time for Yakub to broaden his proverbial horizons as a fighter?
Absolutely, and he's a completely well-rounded fighter. A lot of times you see the guys coming out of that part of the world, you think wrestler, 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 wrestler. His last opponent gave up due to knees from the clinch. He mauls people. His striking is exceptional. So if Fazil thinks he's just getting a grappler and he's just going to have to sprawl on him the whole time, he's got the wrong idea. This guy's going to come out, stand, and bang.
Yeah, when you're training with one of the best fighters in the world, that's going to give you immense confidence, because day in, day out in the training room, you're seeing some of the best moves you're going to see, and what's your opponent going to show you to have it already seen?
Was scheduled to face you Al-Salawi earlier this year. That fight fell through, but when you're getting booked for fights like that, it shows the level that people believe you're at. will he compete at that level and show that skill here tonight? He's certainly got a willing opponent. As we take a look at our tail of the tape for this fight. Yakub, Sulimanov against Namo, Fazil. 3 years in difference in age, couple of inches in height, 5 centimeters for Yakub on the reach. Pretty evenly matched across the board.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing these two 971 warriors once again. Fighting out of the blue corner. This fighter stands 183 centimeters tall. He weighed in at 81 kilograms. He has a record of 8 wins with just 1 loss. He represents Kurdistan and Iraq. He is Namo Fazil. And fighting out of the red corner. This fighter stands 190 centimeters tall. He weighed in at 81.5 kilograms. He has an unbeaten record of 7 wins with no losses. He represents Russia. He is Yakub Sulimanov. Your referee in charge of the action is Herb Dean.
Herb Dean takes the reins for this grudge match of a fight. Andy Shepherd, Evan O'Reilly and Carl Keller on the call for this one.
Now
Namo Fazil in the white shorts, Yakub Sulimanov in the black.
Given all the bad blood, Namo Fazil did come over and give him a big hug beforehand.
Oh.
Let's see how this goes.
Some early strikes landing
nice
for
shots.
Namo Fazil. And if you're Fazil going against someone who's such a tall, rangy pressure fighter, what's the strategy?
Head movements, feints, and fakes to draw out those shots, get past the straight shots, get in and do your dirty work. Fazil's got great hands, good low kicks. Those are good weapons against a long, lanky guy.
Yakub has got 3 KOs on his record, has stopping power. You see the height difference here. He said 3 inches, but it looks like there's a few more there.
Yeah. Given Fazil's build, this isn't something new to him in the weight class. He carries a lot of weight for the weight class. You know, even a little bit shorter of a stature, so he's used to going up against guys like this.
Yeah. Knowing the pedigree of Sulimanov's wrestling as well, it's interesting to see Fazil's not too phased by throwing kicks, because obviously when you throw a kick, you make yourself open to a takedown by grabbing the leg. So he doesn't seem too phased early on. He looks pretty confident.
You talk about 91 being a marketplace for these guys showing themselves to the world. It's only appropriate that Yakub really does step out for the first time to show the world what he's got.
Nice kick there.
He's a dominant, consistent fighter. He's always found a way to win. 7-0.
Fazil's taking his time as well, so obviously the emotion which we talked about before, he's not letting that, you know, dictate how he fights. Nice little teep there.
Given his demeanor and the hug beforehand, it's starting to make me think he was just trying to get a rise out of him.
Yeah, good gamesmanship.
Fazil taking his time. He is pushing the pace at this point.
Nice shots by Sulimanov there.
Yakub doing some great counter-punching early in this round. 2 minutes gone.
Similar to the Fares fight earlier, you've got one guy who's kind of staying in one position and just waiting for him to come in to land a big shot. And Fazil's doing a lot of the movement at the moment, which really is what he needs to do, because knowing the caliber of wrestling that he's up against, you need to keep moving. Oh, good shot.
That right hand landed nicely. As the smaller man with the lesser reach, is it for Fazil to really put the work in and try and close the distance?
Yeah, he has to try and get inside.
He undoubtedly will be the first to move, and he doesn't have the, you know, the luxury that he can just peck a jab out there, and keep him at range. Fazil's got to draw out the shots of Sulimanov and get in there and do his work.
If he stays at the end of Sulimanov's range, he's just going to get
he's going to get
apart.
He's just going to get things bounced off his face.
Yeah, Yakub seems happy to stand center of the cage, just picking off on the counter. A few strikes come through there.
Yeah, Fazil kind of overthrew his shot, put himself out of position. I mean, it would have been a great opportunity to take him down, but Sulimanov doesn't seem interested in it right now. Nice left knee up the center.
3 minutes gone in this opening round. It seems now like Sulimanov is starting to try and find a few little strikes that he's initiating on his own.
Neither fighter rushing it too much here. Good pace of the fight.
Yeah. It's a nice smooth pace. Neither fighter rushing.
Both men know the instant danger that the other has.
Absolutely.
Again, that opposing stance matchup. Each fighter trying to stay outside the lead foot of their opponent.
Constant movement by Namo. Just little feints, just trying to find a way to close the gap. Little flurry there doesn't pay off. But again, it's Yakub on the counter, just tries to score.
Nice counter left hook there from Fazil to end the combination.
Coming up to 1 minute left here.
Something of a chess match here in the opening round.
Got a feeling in this last minute you may see Sulimanov try and get the takedown.
What Fazil needs to do here is he needs to be first and he needs to be last. He needs to finish that combination.
Little lower leg work there from Sulimanov. He won't want to take too many of those. Fazil will need to rely on his speed and closing distance.
Yeah. Whoever can finish strong in these last 30 seconds, you feel like they may be able to influence the judges.
Fazil's getting a little bit of talking going on now. There's the takedown. You called that one, Evan.
Yeah, 30 seconds to go.
Doesn't succeed in keeping his opponent down.
That is a significant win there for Namo Fazil. Just stuffing that takedown.
Yeah.
Little psychological win.
Sticking his tongue out at him now is Fazil.
Final few moments of this opening round. Uppercut lands there from Sulimanov. Sulimanov just trying to pick this round up towards the end, impress the judges.
That little uppercut left hook just reminds me of Chimaev with his last knockout that he got before joining the UFC.
Was that the thing?
It was,
And I'm not sure if these two love each other or hate each other. I think in another world they'd be good friends.
I think this week they hated each other. A moment ago I thought they loved each other. I think they hate back.
Like Fazil just went in there and, you know, kind of wanted to give him the embrace in the back of the head, like, let's go, let's go.
Let's take a look at some of the significant moments from this opening round. It was Fazil who tried to push the pace early doors, but it was the length of Yakub Sulimanov who just kept him at bay. But there were some constant building moments for Namo Fazil.
Yeah, lovely knee up the center there. I mean, Sulimanov showing what he can do. We're getting drowned by Sulimanov's corner here. Wet towel being thrown everywhere.
I'll be honest with you, I can do it getting cooled down.
Yeah.
But chaps, that's a difficult one to score something of a chess match opening doors. Can either man feel assured that they've got one in the bank?
The moment you're looking,
I don't think so. I don't think either man can be sure. The worst thing you can do is rely on the judges. That was far too neck and neck of a round for either guy to go back to his corner confidently knowing that he has the edge.
I think Sulimanov was hoping to get that takedown that we just saw on the screen there, which could have influenced the decision in the round, but Fazil showed him.
Yeah, if he would have gotten that at that time during the round, held it down, dominant position, definitely.
Well, here we go, round two underway here in Dubai. Coca-Cola Arena, 9-7-1.
I'm expecting in this round Sulimanov will try and get an early takedown and try and just grind him down in the round.
Instantly we're seeing Sulimanov just pushing the pace more than he was in round one.
He needs to up the tempo a bit.
Yeah, that cage generalship does play into the judging.
For sure.
If somebody's pushing forward the entire time, it does influence.
And also as well, if wrestling is something you want to call upon, it makes it harder when you're in the center of the cage because your opponent still has somewhere to move. At least if you get his back up towards the cage, like Khabib used to do, it makes that takedown a little bit easier.
Yeah, you're kind of corralling them.
Interestingly, in this round, first one to strike is Yakub, who's much more on the counter in the opening round.
For sure. Now you can see Fazil switched the position where he's pushing Sulimanov towards the cage wall.
Jump knee offering there from Sulimanov. Just out of range.
Yeah. Lots of movement here from Namo Fazil.
What I'd like to see Sulimanov do is get Fazil into that sort of outer cage. So if you look at this sort of the markings on the inside of the cage, it's almost like an inner cage and an outer cage. Once he gets him into that sort of outer cage space, he's more likely to be able to get him, push him up against the wall and take him down.
Very nice two-piece just landed there for Sulimanov. Snap the head back of Fazil. Here goes the single leg. Good sprawl.
That's the second time Fazil has stuffed the takedown.
He's going to grow in confidence from that as well.
One of the key pieces of Yakub Sulimanov's armory has been dispersed by Namo Fazil.
That's impressive.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're a fighter who relies on your ground game so much and someone just stuffed 2 of your takedowns, is that going to knock the confidence?
Absolutely knock the confidence. It's going to make you have to rethink your entire game plan.
But that's what we see if these fighters are made of.
Mm-hmm.
See the left hook there. Do you see that little swelling of Fazil's eye there? Oh, big shot!
Big straight right just clips Namo Fazil. He's hurt, but he's still in this fight. He's egging on Yakub.
Yeah, he's scared.
You just saw the chin twitch to one side of Namo Fazil. He's still in this though. Got a chin of iron. Wow. 2.5 minutes left. We are halfway through this round and this fight.
He's got plenty of time to work here. He should take his time a little bit and pick the shots.
Yeah, I think Fazil's swinging those hooks just to push Sulimanov back so he can get a bit of a breather.
Fazil doesn't seem too phased by the strike he just took.
No,
that's
he's landing his own shots now.
Again, is that a little chink in the armor of Yakub Sulimanov? He's stuffed the takedowns. He's taken probably one of your best shots, and he's still coming forward.
Yeah, you're thinking, what do I got to do to this guy?
He said that Kurdistan fighters were built different, and we're seeing that right here.
He's backing up everything he said in the press conference.
Proud.
Yeah, you can talk that talk all you want, but clearly he can walk the walk.
Now he's pissing up Yakub. This is turning into a beautiful fight to watch here in Dubai.
Sulimanov still landing though. That's going to add. Oof, that was a
labored.
There was no spice on that takedown whatsoever.
Yeah.
Is Yakub starting to gas here? We're just over midway through the fight.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, he has been circling. He has been backing up. And maybe, you know, those couple of shots that he went for that didn't, you know, he wasn't successful on, that might be getting into his head a bit.
Strikes are landing, but once again, the steel chin of safe. Namo Fazil is holding up. You can't let too many of those come through, though.
Yeah. I think Sulimanov needs to circle out here and just get himself a bit of space.
Lovely combinations coming through from Fazil.
Definitely the most effective combination right there of the fight, I think, for Fazil.
Fazil feels he's growing in confidence. Some more spice on the takedown, but no way near enough.
He's not disguising those takedowns enough. He's just leading straight in, and it's making it easy to stop them. Good space there for a knee.
Namo Fazil growing into this fight.
Not getting too overconfident as well, just hunting forward, stalking his opponent.
You can see the snap on Sulimanov's jab is kind of gone now as well.
Spinning the elbow. Namo Fazil stalking down the Russian Yakub Sulimanov.
He's not letting him get away as well. As Sulimanov starts to walk away, Fazil's still in his face.
Not great body language here from Fazil.
No.
I'm sorry, from Sulimanov, pardon me.
Sulimanov was a heavy favorite coming into this fight. Fazil didn't like that, and he's proving 2 rounds in the can.
That bell couldn't come soon enough for Sulimanov.
And we were debating whose round was round number 1. I think we can all agree that one
was pretty
for Namo Fazil.
There you can see that straight right. I mean, Sulimanov did start the round well. He had some good moments.
Yeah, that was probably the most significant strike of the fight, but nothing else really followed up. It was consistency, it seems, from Namo Fazil.
The crazy thing was Fazil ate so many tough shots early on, but only got better as the round went on.
Yeah.
It's like he's building up the kinetic energy of the strikes of Sulimanov, and the fact he's stuffed so many of these takedowns. Look, this one here.
I wonder if Sulimanov was thinking, I can go to the takedown anytime I want and I'll get it, and when it didn't work, that maybe he's got in his head. I don't know.
That's got to be deflating. 110% deflating.
Does that, because the spice has gone from the strikes and his takedowns, do you think that's an emotional thing, or is it a gas tank thing right now?
I would say a bit of both, I would say. I mean, clearly he is the more tired of the 2 fighters, but there's certain guys who...
Listen, I've just had an announcement from the promoter, from Munir. If this fight gets finished by a knockout, one of these fighters wins $20,000.
Wow. Well, Paul, there goes your paycheck.
The stakes just got higher.
20 grand on the line for a knockout in the next 5 minutes. And I tell you what, I think Namo Fazil is looking for 20 grand in his bank tonight.
I think in his head he's already spent it.
I have never heard that.
Yeah.
Going to the third round, the promoters just whacked 20 grand on the table.
What I would say was an extra 30 seconds rest, though, for Sulimanov, which might be nice.
He keeps flicking him off.
You get the feeling Sulimanov wants to survive, but Fazil wants to go for the kill. Will these boys just point at the logo and go? Right now, they're once again being a little cagey here. No one's going for a full firefight.
What you have to be careful of, though, is not let that number get into your head and you throw the game plan out.
Absolutely.
We've seen it before. Final few seconds, you point to the canvas and you pay for it.
Come on, guys. The louder you shout, the harder they fight.
Look at this.
Getting these guys fired
The
up.
crowd into this one here, into by Coca-Cola Arena, sold out. 9-7-1 fighting championship.
Center of the cage.
There is 20 grand for a knockout in the next 4 minutes.
I have never seen that in a promotion in my life.
Let's be honest, guys, that's a lot of money for anyone, particularly full-time fighters. That gets you through your next camp.
I can see you next year living in Thailand.
Yeah, and I like that Munir kept that to himself. He didn't tell. I'm as shocked as anybody in this arena. He obviously didn't tell anybody else.
You did just ask me for a 20 grand loan.
Yeah. He was looking through your bag earlier.
But once again, it's Fazil here trying to push up Sulimanov.
Nice
Oh, there it is!
Oh,
There it is!
left
Namo
hand connect.
Fazil looking for the finish, and he's
Namo
got
Fazil
it!
Scored 20 grand!
20 G's,
Fazil
baby!
has got 20 grand and a huge win here in Dubai.
Wow.
I don't know if it was the 20 grand, I don't know if it was the atmosphere, but Namo Fazil takes all the energy from this week.
I think the money
huge win.
I think the 20 grand definitely helped.
This arena is on its feet.
Wow. The medics paying attention here to Yakub Sulimanov.
Wow.
That was just not a knockout, that was a significant knockout. Let's take a look here. Sulimanov puts his head down, and it was a clipping left hand on the chin.
Yep, what it does is it slides that temporal mandibular joint over, pinches the nerve, and it just switches the button off.
And I tell you what, he followed up with a number of hammer fists. He was making sure that 20 grand check is firmly in his bank. Motivation galore, lives being changed here at 9-7-1 FC.
You can see Sulimanov there, obviously dejected, devastated, disappointed, but it's nice to see his opponent embracing him.
Let's remember, that is the first defeat of Yakub Sulimanov's career. 7-0. He trains with some of the best athletes in the world. That puts in perspective the work that Namo Fazil has just put in.
Absolutely, and it, like you said, disappointing because it's his first loss on a huge stage. Probably thinking, 20 grand which was put in front of him, and it's just gone now. Like, all these things will just be rushing through his head now.
But welcome, Namo Fazil, to the world stage. I've talked time and time again about some of these athletes' phones are going to be ringing tomorrow and Monday morning. I am certain opportunities galore are coming to Namo Fazil very, very soon.
A lot of messages looking for loans, I'm sure, as well.
Yeah, can I have my 20 grand back?
Nah.
Well, we're just waiting for Sulimanov to be...
I have to say, Fazil, now, he really backed up everything he said. Like, he talked a big talk during the week. A lot of people were saying, was it all, smoke that he was talking, but he obviously delivered.
Let's make this one official with Grant.
And that shoots the chest right here.
At 1 minute 30 seconds of the second round, we have a winner. by way of knockout from Kurdistan, Namo Saif Fazil.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
A life-changing win for Namo Fazil. Well, let's get a few words with our winner. Carl is up there inside the cage.
I need this interview. Yeah? Okay, let's go. Come here.
Namo. I'm here with Namo Fazil, a man who just won $20,000, baby.
Woo, baby, I'm gonna eat! Yeah!
You're gonna do a lot more than eat with that amount of money, my friend.
Baby.
Now, there was a lot of bad blood going into that fight, a lot of talking going on at the press conference. In your opinion, I don't know how the other side feels, in your opinion, is the beef squashed?
Yes, if I'm honest, look, this is a sport. Obviously, we need some hatred to make this sport like people to watch us. He's an amazing, amazing fighter. I have nothing but respect to him. Truly great fighter, one of the toughest fights I had. But I want to thank everybody that came here and supported me. Truly, truly, I want to thank everybody. But UFC, baby, you need to sign me, baby. Yeah! I've won 6 fights already. The grandson of Salahuddin Ayyub is here. Takeover, game over, Range Rover. Yeah, Dana.
All right, beautiful work, brother. We're looking to having you back in here. It's been a pleasure.
No doubt. When Namo Fazil wants to go, he calls out for the UFC, and I wouldn't be surprised if that phone call comes after that performance.
For sure, yeah. I mean, the start of the week showed what a showman he is, but he backed it up in the cage, and he shows what a great fighter he is as well.
I think that's key. We talked about the bravado he's had this week. I tell you what, though, he sold the fight. He came in looking like a character, like a superstar, and then he backed it up. Not many people could do that, and on a performance like that, it does feel like he's ready to move into the upper echelons of this sport.
This is prize fighting. Let's not lose focus on that. It's prize fighting. They're going for the biggest prize they can get, and there's no getting away.